Visconia, and we're here to discuss the UK's foreign policy and the idea that bombing needs to occur over Iraq and Syria. Is this a good idea? Not entirely sure, because there's two sides of this argument that we need to be thinking about. On the one hand, there may be collateral damage, which may make people think badly of us in Europe. And on the other hand, we may use bombs that may kill people, but they may kill people needlessly, because war is not always the answer. There may be other ways, such as destabilizing ISIS from inside of ISIS, which means giving people the tools they need to create the world that they want, which is a constructivist view, and we can help people do that. That's my opinion. Thanks.
From a offensive realism perspective, the UK should vote to bomb the ISIS in Syria, because it's showing the physical support to its allies, France and the US, and it's also the UK is maximizing its security.
I agree that UK should actually bomb Syria, and the reason for this is because I think it should show solidarity with other NATO members, because it is a potential threat, and before we see it, it's already transnational as it is. So identities are spreading, the ideology has become rooted deeply. So if we don't solve this problem now, when are we going to?
I think I completely disagree with the idea that the UK should bomb or go to war with Syria or ISIS, and this is precisely because I feel like the ideology behind ISIS is not something that can be physically removed, which is basically what bombing is going to do. So I feel like the idea should be tackled in a more strategic and diplomatic way, rather than actually bombing Syria, because in other words that would affect other people like civilians and other people who don't necessarily have anything to do with the ideology. So I completely disagree with you. I don't think UK should go to war.
I think they should, because first, the Islamic State is already basically has formed an organization on the ground. So if we don't bomb the potential threats that they've already set up, then aren't we just encouraging the same thing over again?
I think, which goes back to what I said before, the ideology behind ISIS is something that has spread across borders and it has become transnational. So if the UK actually goes to war and starts to bomb, it doesn't take away the idea behind why ISIS is terrorizing or bombing other states.
I think that the UK should not bomb Syria, because we don't actually know if the whole of the threat is actually in Syria, and it might not stop the bombing that are going to happen in the UK or the other places, because maybe the threats are already in those places.
Exactly. It's like we don't even know where they are. So if you bomb Syria now or bomb Iraq now, you are just making the Syrian people or Iraq people or even ISIS itself to be more angry and more justification of like retaliation, because you're literally just bombing them, and that's the point of why they did ISIS in the first place.
But I think the UK should bomb the Syria because it's showing support from the UK, because it literally did nothing to Syria and ISIS, and because ISIS is introducing international anarchy, and so the US and France keep doing attacks.
I know, but then what are the strategies? They just keep on saying like, we're gonna deploy airstrikes, and then we're going to include the France is gonna include 1,200 troops, boots on the ground. But then what are the long-term strategies? What are they trying to achieve? And they just keep on voting about should we bomb it? But then we don't really talk about how we bomb it, or what are the strategies? How do we clean up the aftermath of it?
And what about the civilians that are probably going to be killed? And are we going to put in more troops in Syria? Because if we're going to put in troops and we're going to bomb them, that means we're killing our own people.
Yeah, exactly.